so stoked for today's interview. I read about this young man on Tap Into, and if you guys don't subscribe to Tap Into, you really should. A lot of towns have them. Look up Tap Into in your town. We've got Tap Into Hawthorne, Tap Into Glen Rock. There's a lot of towns across the country that have Tap Into. Check it out because it's a daily news report. And I happen to see this guy's article. His name is Tommy Pasquale, and I mean the guts on this guy. He's walking across America to raise money for a very very good cause. So Tommy, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for joining us, and we're going to find out where you are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say, first off, I really appreciate you having me on. I'm excited to do this. I consume a lot of podcasts, especially out here on the road, but I'll be honest, this is my first time ever, being on one. So very, very excited to be here. So appreciate you having me.
Well, hopefully, since people are going to see this and hear this, that it's going to be one of many. Because I think
Yeah,
as you go across the country, people are going to be riveted by your story, riveted by the guts that you have just for doing something like this, and I think it's going to be one of many. So I appreciate this being your inaugural podcast.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so I have to ask before we get into your background and what inspired you and all that. So where are you right now?
So currently, I am in Knoxville, Tennessee, over, very close to the University of Tennessee. I'm at my buddy Riley's apartment here. He heard I was coming through. He said, "Hey, if you're making it through Knoxville, you got to stop by and you don't have to ask me twice because I've been living in a tent, for the past few weeks. Very easy yes for me to come crash on the couch and be inside with him. So I really appreciate him putting me up here for a few days. We're gonna have a few fun days. I have a few rest days planned here, but definitely gonna catch a football game and enjoy myself while I'm here.
Nice. So you're going to University of Tennessee, UT?
Yes, yes,
Nice.
sir.
On this coming Saturday.
Yep, they got Kentucky this Saturday, so it's a top 25 matchup. I'm excited to be a part of it. I've never been to a Tennessee game. Yeah, they got I heard Neyland Stadium's going to be rocking, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Well, shout out to your friend Riley for bringing you in and letting you hang out with him for a little while. So you're in Tennessee. When did you start the whole trek? When did you start the
Yeah,
journey?
so I started this trek on September 19th. I left from Manasquan Beach in
Did
New
you did you
Jersey.
touch, did you touch the water?
Yeah, absolutely. I got, you're gonna go from sea to shining sea. You got to
I
get your toes wet
know.
on the front end and on the back end. So I started in the water. Went in there. Got my toes a little wet and came, dried off, put my sneakers on, and got to walking.
And I hope you're journaling everything because I really do see this as a book, a documentary. I mean, this is pretty. It's a pretty daunting event. I mean, it's what what inspired you to even think about something like this?
Yeah, so it's definitely a little out there. It's a unique scenario, but I am journaling it every night. If nothing else, just to keep my sanity a little, just to give me something to do sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's been a dream of mine to kind of um, do something that a lot of people haven't done before. Just to, I like a good challenge like that. And it's been a dream of mine for a few years now. This popped in my head. Hey, it'd be kind of cool if you walked across the country. Kind of stuck into it. Not really anything too serious. This was like during COVID. I was walking every day around town. I was recovering from a broken ankle. I just gotten out of a walking boot, and obviously there was nothing going on. So I'm like, all right, let me for a walk today. Let me try and stay in shape here while I'm sitting in the house, just eating mama's cooking and putting on a few pounds. So I'm walking 10, 15, 20 miles a day. I'm starting to think, oh, how long would it take, if I walked across country? So, oh, it's about 3,000 miles. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. If you did 20 miles a day, doing the numbers. And so I kind of, put that in the back of my mind and, kind of moved on. We started moving forward out of COVID. And, but it was always kind of just eating that in the back of my mind, just like, oh, this is something you want to do, kind of getting bigger, just kind of, in the back there, just, not going away. And I got to a certain point where I said, you know what, like if you actually want to do this, that's cool. Go ahead and figure out what's going to take to do this and go for it while you're, young, healthy, and strong. And if you're not going to do it, then forget about it and, put it out of your mind and don't let it eat at you for the rest of your life, or do it. So I decided, you know what, let's do it. Let's go for it. So I think to the surprise of a lot of people, I decided to go for it, and yeah. So I mean, I know it's going to be tough, and it is tough, and it's a struggle sometimes, but it's all part of the journey, and I know it's not going to be forever. And so yeah, so we're moving and shaking along here, and I know if I was going to go, that I wanted to pair it with a worthy cause, and I think helping the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans. That's something I've always been passionate about. Is trying to help veterans, and I've always been a pretty patriotic guy, so that's something I'm pretty passionate about as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So it's the National Coalition of Homeless Veterans. Uh,
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about that charity, and then I want to find out what was it that inspired you to get involved with that particular charity.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, like I said, I've always been a pretty passionate guy, a pretty patriotic guy. I've always respected and had a lot of reverence for the country, and especially the brave men and women who have served this country. I have some veterans in my family. I have a lot of friends who are veterans and active duty, and I know it's they're obviously brave men and women who serve are obviously very proud, and they're not coming home asking for help. And I think sometimes the military prepares them very well to go off, but not as great coming back home and becoming back and a part of society. And I think it's just staggering that on any given night in this country, there's 38,000 homeless veterans, and I just think that number is way too high. I think it's unacceptable, and I think as Americans, it's our duty to look out for one another. And they're proud people, and they won't ask for help. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do everything in our power to make it right for them. So they've done the hard part. They've made their sacrifices. So it's time for us to make some sacrifices and figure it out. And the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans, obviously it was researching, what specific charity I wanted to work with and partner up with, and their goal is to end veteran homelessness. So that's their main goal, and they have many ways of doing it. So yeah, I thought, this is the one I want to partner up with.
It's amazing to think that, and you hit the nail on the head. I mean, considering how much training they have going in and how little debriefing and training they have coming out, and between the PTSDs and all the other issues that they have to deal with,
Mhm.
then they live the rest of their lives on the street. Do you know anyone in particular, any homeless veteran in particular that inspired you, or just the whole concept of it?
Yeah, just the whole concept on it of it. I'd be honest. I've met a lot of veterans along the way here, and it's pretty staggering that you meet people who are veterans and you tell them what you're doing, and I'm really appreciative that they're all very supportive when I tell them what I'm doing. That means a lot to me. But it's a lot of them say, "Oh yeah, you're raising money for veterans. I'm a veteran. Oh yeah, cool. I'm raising money for homeless veterans. Oh, I was a homeless veteran. I was homeless for a year. I was homeless for 6 months. I was homeless
Is that right?
for 3 years when I came back, and it's amazing. Just like how many people I meet that have that story. I've posted about a few of them, but it's amazing because I'm like, wow, like they're really, you know, if you don't see it and you don't talk to people and you don't know, then you have no idea. But it's amazing that I meet all these veterans, and a good majority of them have said, yeah, I've dealt with that. I had that problem, so I really appreciate what you're doing.
Well, and it's so interesting because I've seen the signs, the guys on the corner at the red lights with the signs. I'm a veteran. I'm a homeless veteran, and you drive by them and you don't even think about it. It's like, oh, here's another guy. There's another guy that's trying to raise money or whatever.
Right.
And when you meet people like that that actually went through it and struggled through it and made it to the other side, and not everybody does.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awesome that in your journey you're getting a chance to actually talk to people like that. And I encourage anybody that's listening, anybody that's watching, if you're a veteran or you know veterans, share this with them, share the story, because there's it, obviously the government's not helping these people when they come back. They can't get back into society, and they're struggling, and they're back on the street. So to bring more awareness to this and to raise money to address this issue, I think it's pretty awesome, especially for someone your age. It's so where did you grow up? So tell me a little bit about your background.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, I was born in, in Livingston, New Jersey. I was in
Jersey
Livingston.
boy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Jersey boy through and through. I was born there. I was there for, the first, 2, 3 years of my life. Then I moved to Randolph, which is, really where I'm from. I was born in Livingston, but I was raised and grew up in Randolph. Went through K through 12 in the Randolph school system.
Which
So it
high
was.
school did you graduate?
I graduated from Randolph High School, so big shout out to them.
What
Big,
year? Shout out your class.
yeah, I was class of 2016. So big shout out to everyone I graduated with. I loved so many people from my high school, and from the staff, the administration, to coaches, and everybody, to all my classmates. They're all a part of this journey, even if they don't realize it, because they've been a part of shaping me, and that's just everyone that I've ever met, right? Like, they all had a part in shaping me, and making me the man I've become today. And so, even if it's in a little small way that they don't even realize, yeah, they're all a part. So, but yeah, and then so from there, I went to Randolph High School, graduated, and went over to South Orange, went to Seton Hall University.
I can see you sporting the colors.
Absolutely. Even in Knoxville, I gotta represent the Pirates here. Um,
Absolutely.
we're gonna have a good year in basketball this year. Coach Shaw's gonna, first year Coach Shaw, he's gonna have this team play, run and gun basketball, playing gritty defense. So I'm excited about that. So that's my little plug for them.
And listen,
Um,
Coach Shaw, if you watch this, you got to go on Tommy Pasquale's Instagram page, because he sank one. It was. And I have to ask you. So for you guys, you have to go on. Tommy Pasquale has a Instagram page. Give us the name of your Instagram page.
yeah, so you can follow my journey on my Instagram page, my TikTok page, or my Facebook page. And the handle is at Tommy underscore walks underscore America. I post videos, I post some pictures, some content. I try and be as fun and playful as I can be. Sometimes a little more serious things, but yeah, there's definitely some good content that I hope people are enjoying, and it's definitely amusing me, and I know it's amusing some people back home. So definitely check it out. But I mean, there's definitely, I got to tour the basketball facilities here at Tennessee the other day, because my buddy Riley, he's actually a grad assistant for the team, so I got to go in the locker room, got to go on the court, and we were shooting some threes on the court. It was a pretty cool experience.
How many did you shoot before you got that one?
Listen.
Just one.
There was a video, and you could see in the video I step up and I hit it. There may be a few gigabytes worth of videos on my iPhone before that we had to edit out. But as far as everyone's concerned, I'm one for one.
That's it.
I'm
One for one. You know what? You sink it, you walk away. You
that's
drop
right.
the puck.
Hold it up and walk away. But yeah, I did go to Seton Hall for 4 years, but I never played, so I do have some eligibility left. So Coach Shaw, if you're watching this, and you need a sharpshooter that can just come in and hit some from the corner, yeah, I'm your guy. I'm your guy.
You know what? If nothing else, Coach, when he's back from his journey, bring him on the court. Let him at least throw one for the crowd and for the homeless vets. I think that would be awesome if they had you on there as an honorary basketball player.
Absolutely. I won't lie to you. So in my time at Seton Hall, I did the chance shoot a half court shot at one of the basketball games, and I was really nervous, and I might have had a few drinks in me too, but it was a disappointing effort, from where I stand. It just didn't have enough juice on it. I was real embarrassed. Everyone, all my friends in the stands, my family, and I'm making a big deal, hyping on the crowd, pointing at people. Yeah, it was. If Coach Shaw, if you're watching this, I'd like another chance at a half court shot at the Prudential Center.
And I
So
tell you what, and I'll put it on. We'll put it. Make sure we put it on the Downcast. Absolutely. And
absolutely, yeah.
after you go through this event, uh, I think it's going to be something that will have matured you. From the time that you were, drinking and shooting from the half court. I think you will approach it a little differently.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna take it definitely more seriously. But yeah, definitely maturing a little bit here on the road. And I mean that's part of life. It's right. It's always funny. It's like you think, when you turn 18 and you're senior high school, you're like, oh man, I'm 18 years old. Like I can vote, I can drive. But then you realize, a few years down the road, oh, well, I wasn't as much a man as I thought I was. I wasn't as grown as I thought I was. Now I'm 21. I can drink. I can go out to the bar. I'm here in college. I'm a man now. I'm living on my own. And you fast forward to now. I'm realizing. Every day goes by. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm a man, but I have a lot to learn, and I'm learning some of it here out on the road. I know there's a lot more to learn, but yeah, definitely, I could definitely feel myself maturing in some ways out here on the road.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you. So I mean, you're in Tennessee now. Where are you sleeping every night? You sleep? Did you bring a tent, a sleeping bag? What's the whole arrangement as you're going?
Yeah, so I got my big old shopping cart full of gear, and I have a lot of equipment to pitch a tent, to sleep in the sleeping bag, and that's what I've done a majority of the nights. So I pitch a tent. I go to campgrounds if I can find them. Fire departments, American Legions, VFWs, some churches, even some kind people who I knock on their door and say, "Hey, can I pitch a tent on your property here?" So that's kind of where I pitch my tents, and that's been the majority of the nights. Some some uh, some motels here and there, depending on where I am. Some places are a little too urban to be pitching a tent. You don't want to be pitching a tent necessarily, in Baltimore.
Right.
So yeah, so stay in a motel here and there, and then obviously if I have any friends along the way that I can stay with, or I'm ecstatic to stay with a friend and or someone I know. It's always good, not only being inside and being in a good, safe place to stay, but it's just good to see people. I miss everybody. So it's gives me a good feeling of home. And a few times they've even been able to cook me some home cooked meals, which is good for morale, which is really good for morale.
Yeah. So what are you eating when you're on the road? It's got to be fast food. Are you cook? You putting out a little kettle? What are you eating?
Yeah, so I mean, in my
Italian. What are you eating?
I know. That's like it's one of the toughest parts. I'm sitting here, in the tent eating like, non-perishables like cans of tuna, like beef jerky, nuts, protein shakes, peanut butter, stuff like that. Beans. That's mainly what's in my cart. So I eat that a majority of the time. And I definitely stop at a lot of fast food here and there just because I need some food that's a little bit more substantial here and there. I've gone to restaurants, and so yeah, when I get the chance to come here to a friend's house and have some home cooking, that's always good. But it is true. It's really sad. I miss my mom's cooking. I miss Jersey. Everyone's been so nice so far along Jersey, along the journey. People in Tennessee are great. Virginia are great, Pennsylvania are great. Uh, but I mean, you can't find a good slice or a bagel out here to save your life, and I'm really missing that. I didn't know how much I was gonna miss that along the way, but I haven't had a slice of pizza since I left Jersey, and that's usually on my food pyramid. That's like the whole bottom 50% is just pizza.
I hope somewhere in there's a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
Oh
Not a
yeah,
pork roll, not a pork roll, egg and
no
cheese.
Taylor ham, absolutely Taylor ham.
See, for all you guys watching in the South Jersey, it's Taylor ham. I understand the whole argument, but it's Taylor ham. They make the best one.
Right.
All right.
Right.
So, so
It's the name brand.
speaking of your mom, I know that being Italian and knowing what Italian moms are like,
Mhm.
how's she taking all this?
S- uh, so my mom, what a great lady, what a saint. Really, it really is truly a saint for dealing with me, for dealing with my brother and sister. You know, my sister's a twin, so just the fact that she popped me and sister out at the same time is just, you know, she deserves a medal. But when I told her, I think I think in general, when I told, you know, my family, I think they thought I was kidding to begin with. I'm a bit of a jokester, so but and then they realized I was serious, and they're like, okay, what? Like, what are you talking about? You're crazy, and they still think I'm crazy, and that might be a little warranted. I definitely understand. You know, I'm not delusional to the fact that this is a little crazy. It's, you know, a little Forrest Gump. So, but yeah, so she of everybody, she's definitely the most worried, I would say. I call her every night, you know, just to make sure she's at as ease as she can be. You know, I said I'm safe here. You know, I've pitched my tent. I'm at a church, or, you know, I'm at a motel. Like, I'm good to go for tonight. You know, I'll call you tomorrow when I get moving. But, you know, obviously you know, her and my dad, they're as supportive as they can be, and they're trying to help as much as they can from a distance. Um, so yeah, so I appreciate their support, and everyone in my family support. And I understand why they're concerned, and you know, everything they think about. So yeah, it won't be forever, Mom. I'll be home soon enough. And I promise I won't ever walk across the country again. So I'll put you at ease for that.
So
But yeah.
let's talk about that. So you mapped it out. What's your ETA to the West Coast? And what part of California are you going to hit?
Yeah, so I'm planning to finish at Venice Beach, you know, and hop in the Pacific Ocean, go from sea to shining sea.
Nice.
Uh, I have you know, I don't have exact timed out, but my goal is to reach California, or reach Venice Beach by early April is my target. I think so far, based on, you know, how far I've walked so far, and the timing of it, I think that's very doable. I think it's plausible. So that's my goal. I definitely don't want to be out here walking forever. You know, at some point I do want to get back home and return to normal life. But yeah, that's a good goal, and that's what I'm sticking to. So hopefully I'm able to. I'm thinking, hey, who knows? Once I get past these, you know, hilly Tennessee here, and, you know, kind of flattens out a little bit, maybe I could kick up my mileage a little bit, and cut a few days off the trip, and end up home in March.
Hey, if you go just jump in the cart when you're going downhill. Let it take you a little while. Let
Yeah,
it,
you know what? I've tried it a few times, and I appreciate my buddies who built the cart, but, you know, they didn't put a steering wheel on the thing. You know,
not
I'm
good.
going downhill, the thing's shaking. It's
So how are you going to get back? You going to walk back too, or no?
Absolutely not. I'm flying back. That's honestly, that's so funny, because so many people ask me that question when I tell them what I'm doing, and I'm like, absolutely not. Honestly, I may not walk for, you know, the next month and a half. I might just sit down, and when I get home, and park it on the couch, and rest the legs for about a month there. Yeah, absolutely not. But I'll be flying back. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I might just push the cart into the Pacific, and just say, all right, I'm heading back to Jersey.
Well, listen, what's been all right? So you're in Tennessee. What's been the most challenging so far? Because obviously you've got the bigger part of the country ahead of you.
Mhm.
What's been your biggest challenges so far to where you are today?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of time to think on the road. So it's definitely, you know, I think about so much stuff. Honestly, that much time to think for a guy like me is kind of dangerous. You know, I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? But I've narrowed it down to like three different categories of challenges. There's physical, there's mental, and there's emotional. And physically, you know, physically, and this is what I thought coming in, was thinking that hopefully it was going to be most physically challenging in the beginning. But then, I was going to harden a little bit. My body was going to adjust, and it would that would subside a little bit, and that's been fairly true. I mean, there's definitely some aches and pains, that are going with it because it is a lot of activity every day. But the first few days physically were just just brutal. Like when I made it to my buddies Mike and Tony's place in Philadelphia, and it was day 3. So it was the day 3. I had walked 75 miles, and I take my shoes off, and I'm telling you, my whole feet from my tips of my toes to my heels are purple, swollen, and blistered. Everything in my body from my neck, my shoulders, to fingers from pushing the cart, down my back, my legs, my butt, my quads, my hammies, my calves, my shins are just as sore as I've ever been. I've never been in so much pain in my life, and I'm like, oh my god, what did you get yourself into? Like you're
Day
like, I was like,
three.
there's no way. I was like, there's no way you're gonna be able to do this. I was like, you better pray that this subsides, because like if this doesn't go away here, like there's just no way you're gonna make it across the country. But fortunately enough, that was a really good night. I got some home cooking. I got some pasta and meatballs from Mike and Tony, which I think really did straighten me out. But yeah, they're like, no, you got to keep going. It's only day 3. You got to push through the pain. And I'm like, yeah, you got it right. And after day 3, there, it started to get better, and I started to get less sore. Started to adjust to the rigorous routine. And I've been better ever since. Definitely still sore, but that's a part of it. So obviously, yeah, sorry for rambling on. I'll ramble on forever. You just ask my parents about that. I'll ramble on forever. But yeah, physical, mentally, just obviously there's a lot of free time on my hands. So mentally, just trying to stay sharp and stay in a good sound of mind. So that's challenging, but I think I'm getting better at that as well as the time goes on. And then emotionally, just it's lonely out here, and I knew that coming in. But I've been blessed to have a lot of support from people back home that I love. They call me, they text me, they send me videos, and I definitely miss them every day. But yeah, they've been doing a good job of keeping in contact with me, and keeping me updated of what's going on. So emotionally, it's definitely tough sometimes, but that's all part of it. I'd like to think I'm pretty mentally and emotionally and physically strong guy. So we're working through day by day. But yeah, those are the 3 biggest like challenges.
Well, last week we had Bob and Frank Hurley on. They're biking across America. I
Yeah.
I did send a message out to them, letting them know that you're headed their way, they're headed your way. So
Hmm.
hopefully at some point you guys are going to be able to meet, cross paths. I think that would be phenomenal. All Jersey guys, just
Hmm.
going across the country for charity, which is just outstanding. I really, I'm hoping that happens. If it happened, if we're able to make that happen, I will fly to wherever you guys are, and I'll make sure to get all of you guys on the Towncast, and just sit down, and I'll dinner's on me. And
Listen, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm in. I'm sold on that. Yeah, I saw that the podcast with them that you did with them. They seem like great guys, and I know they're working. They have some charities that they're working with. I forget the exact ones. I don't know. You may know, but I know they're working with some homelessness and some veterans. So
yeah,
I appreciate that from them, and there's definitely some common ground for sure. And if I get the chance to meet him, and hopefully I do, I'm gonna say, hey, throw me a few wheels my way too. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
because they're also in an R. They also have an RV.
I know, I see they got a lot of stuff. They
You
got a
have
lot
a
of stuff.
cart.
I know. That's the thing. If there was one thing I could do differently, it would be finding someone crazy enough to go with me, and just a little part in crime. I think that would be helpful. But
Well,
yeah, yeah.
you know what? I tell you what. Listen, for you guys watching, you guys listening, you know, get on his social media, look up Tommy Pasquale. You'll find him on Instagram. You'll find him on Facebook. You'll find him on. Are you on Twitter too?
I'm not on Twitter.
Nobody. Who cares about Twitter? Anyway, find him and see if there's a stretch of land that you guys want to walk with them. You could use the company, right? You can, especially when you get out Midwest and when once you get into Texas, if you're taking that southern route, once you get
Yeah.
into Texas, that's nowhere. Texas and Arizona, that's all desert and just so anybody that wants to walk along with Tommy and help him raise money. And I'm gonna shout out right now. That's Barstool Sports behind you, isn't it?
That's my friend's flag there. That's Barstool. I've tried to reach out to El Prez, to Big
David
Cat,
Portnoy.
some of the guys, and I think, and listen, I think this would be right up Dave's alley. I think he would love to be a part of it. And I think,
Absolutely.
Dave, if you're seeing this, I think you're cool not to be a part of it. I think you could really help out the National Coalition for Homeless Veterans. And I think, hey, listen, I think this could be a beautiful thing, Dave. I think, hey, I'm making content out here. Who knows, Dave? I could be making content for It could be Barstool Walks America, Dave. Come on, give me a call.
Right? I know. I've sent out plenty of tweets, and I've tagged him in everything. He never responds. He's always out doing his pizza thing and
Yeah.
all cocky and arrogant. But you know what? This is a good cause, Dave. It's not about pizza. And actually, you know what? Bring him a pizza wherever he is. Why don't you bring him a good pizza?
Listen,
That's
Dave,
something you could do.
I'm I'm a big fan of Barstool. I'm a big fan of Dave. Yeah, I understand busy man, but Dave also, if you want to have me on one of the pizza reviews too, there's a few spots in Jersey that you've definitely missed. You can get as many as you can, but there's some gems that you've missed. Over in Randolph, over in Dover. The Pizza Pub, Table 42. The Village Trap. You've missed a few real good pizzerias. So listen, I'll be a part of them. I'll be a part of
Yeah. Well, Tommy, like I said, I give you tremendous credit for what you're doing. You are the modern day Forrest Gump.
them.
I was surprised you don't have a Bubba Gump hat on or something. But
Oh,
I really,
listen, this is just between you and me, so don't tell anyone here. But we're be here this weekend for the Tennessee Kentucky game, like we talked about, and it is Halloween weekend here in Tennessee. So I was thinking maybe if we're dressing up and going to the bars one night, hey, who knows? Maybe you'll see me in short shorts, some a Bubba Gump hat, and maybe a little fake beard. So who knows? That you might see Forrest Gump running around Knoxville, Tennessee. If you
I
do,
that
come
would
say
be
hello.
awesome. That would be so good. Well, listen, keep in touch. I want to have you back. I know it's a long haul for you. Reach out to me anytime you want to come back on. You're welcome to come back on. I'm serious. I know how lonely it could be on the road. I've traveled for many years by plane mostly. But even on a 12-hour flight to China, it gets lonely on a 12-hour flight. So,
Mhm.
you're doing this for what is it, 8 months?
Yeah, like 7, 8 months. Yeah, something like that.
Months, yeah. So again, I encourage everybody, reach out to him, show him some love. Um, he'll have the links to, I know you have a GoFundMe page,
Hmm.
right? So you have the link to the GoFundMe page on your social media.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So, help him raise some money. If you're along the way, reach out and say, hey, listen, let me cook you a home cooked meal. You're welcome here. Let me make you something. And if you're Italian, especially, come on, you know how we are.
Hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
remember,
Head
I
to
remember,
Washington for sure. For sure.
I remember one time I was down in like one of my first trips down in Dallas, and the reps that I was working with, they're like, "We're going to take you out for an Italian meal tonight." I'm like, "Okay." No, I was looking forward to barbecue and Tex-Mex.
Mhm.
We're going to take you out for an Italian meal. We went to Olive Garden. You
That's a
know,
sin.
yeah.
That's a
So
sin.
you know what I'm saying, guys. If you're
Yeah.
on the road and you know where Tommy is, reach out to him and say, "Hey, listen, we want to make you a home cooked meal." Reach out, uh, give to this amazing, amazing charity that he's raising money for. Show him your love, show him your support, and help him through the journey because I know that the tough road is still ahead of you.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. I definitely got a long way to go. I feel like I've made some good progress so far. But I know that the majority is still ahead of me here, and definitely some hard days ahead. But but we'll be all right. We're Jersey guys. You know what I mean? We keep pushing. We're built a little bit differently in New Jersey.
Exactly, especially with that Italian blood in you.
Come on, come on.
Hey, shout out to your mom. What's your mom's name?
My mom's name is Rosanna. Rock and row.
Rosanna.
So I
Listen,
love you, mom. Hopefully you're good. I'm sure you will be watching this at some point. Hopefully I didn't say anything too off color that you're embarrassed. My parents have been very supportive, but and they're following along. They got Instagram just to follow along, and
uh,
sometimes they're like, Tom, like I'm so happy you're doing cool things. I'm proud of you, but maybe don't quite say that. That's a little off color. I'm like, mom, like I'm out here, living in a tent. Like, you're lucky if I, don't show up, shirtless one day on Instagram, wearing like a bear pelt, talking about, I have a spirit name. I'm like, yeah, like let's manage expectations here. You know what I mean? Like,
with
I'm
the
like, I'm
beard,
sorry, I'm sorry
the
to
beard
subway
down
for
here.
yeah, exactly. Like so, but yeah, no. Shout out to them. I love you guys back home, and shout out to everyone back home, all my friends and family. I miss you guys so much. So hopefully you watch this. Hopefully you get a little enjoyment, and even if I'm not there, it give you a little reminder that I'm still out here. I'm still making you smile. So
All right, and I mean it. Whenever you want to come back on, the door's open. So just let me know, and we'll put you back on and kick up some more support for you.
absolutely, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, this is a pretty cool experience for me. It's my first one. Hopefully, it's the first of many. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you again, and yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. We'll definitely keep in touch. I listen, call me anytime. I got the time. I got the time to talk. So,
All right, don't go away. I'm going to sign off and then I'll come back and say goodbye. So
all right,
listen, guys, look him up. Look him up on social media. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's got a GoFundMe page. Learn more about the charity he's trying to raise money for, and just show him your love. Send him your prayers. Send him your support. I know it's tough economic times right now. If you can't donate money, you can donate love. You can donate prayers. You can donate some emotional support, and I encourage you guys to do that. And if you can give a little bit of money, do that, and help support the cause that he's walking for. I just again, Tommy, I wish you all the best, and I know you're going to make a lot of friends along the way. I look forward to reading the book when you're done. I hope I get an autographed copy.
absolutely.
Whatever it is, you know what we'll do? I will host your book signing. Mark my words. I'll host your book signing up here. We'll have you come up here, and we'll host a book
Beautiful,
signing for you.
beautiful. I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Absolutely, it's going to happen. All right, so go out, support Tommy Pasquale, and just send him some love. All right, be well, everybody.
Take it easy. Thank you, guys.